So the question comes to us quite often about whether there's an easy way to condition CMS pickups. So you can see here we've got a pickup. If I have a look at the point distribution, you can see a lot of shadowing here, so point distribution is very sparse. On the other side, you can see it's very dense. So these objects, by their very nature, are quite difficult to validate. And if I have a look inside it, spin that around, you can see that there's a lot of spike data on the internal side of that as well. So what I want to do at the end of the day is to have a method of conditioning this object so that it becomes a valid shape very quickly, but also is available to be used for downstream processing like unioning, quick volumes, intersections, outer sections, and that type of thing. So I'm going to run this macro here, automatic solid conditioning, and I only want to run it on the example stope that I have here in front of me. We have these options here for simplification level and expansion. So in all the testing that I've done, these two options work best. But if you find that a solid is not going to be able to be conditioned at a simplification level of 3, sometimes it's worth ramping this up and just try going incrementally until it actually will validate for you. So I'll try 3 and low. So it goes through, it simplifies, then it does an expansion and contraction, which is where the magic happens here, and we end up having a smooth solid or a conditioned solid. And if I bring in the final result, you can see that we have a shape that looks like this. And if I cut that again, you can see that the internal part of that is all clean. No more spikes coming through. So it's fixed the spikes, it's fixed any holes in there. It will fix a lot of things. It won't fix everything, but it'll get 90% of the way there for you, or maybe 99% of the way there for you. Now, another option that I have here, if I bring in a couple of stopes, and let's say I wanted to union these two stopes together. To do it at the moment is going to be a headache because of the nature of the triangles. So I'll condition both of these objects and I'll tidy them up, and then we'll try and union the objects together. So run my macro. We're going to do stope lower and stope upper. We'll keep the default settings. And over here we should see eventually a couple of save files. It's running through, conditioning them, and they're done over here now. So if I bring in the lower, okay, so that looks pretty well done. I can use that. If I bring in the upper, okay, so there's a bit of artifact over here that I probably want to get rid of before I start doing too much with this. But because this shape is now conditioned, you can see the point distribution is very even, and the triangle distribution is also very even. Okay, see the mesh? And that means that I can use some DataCentric tools in SERPAC, this one here. And let's say I just wanted to chop out all these triangles here. Select them all, right click, delete, and they're all gone. Now, there's a bit of an artifact in there, so I might just go a little bit more aggressive. Come back to here, delete, and they're gone. So I should be able to now heal this solid easily just using one of the functions under the validation menu to autocorrect problems, and that should be able to fix the hole in this object without too many problems because it is a conditioned solid. And there it is. So these objects, these conditioned objects, are very easy to manipulate, union, outer section, intersection, and use the data select tools to actually delete areas that you don't need. So I can now union these two objects together without too much drama, but I'll first save this one. And let's try unioning these with the macro. So the ones that I want to do are the conditioned stope lower and stope upper. It's going through, working out all the triangles. Okay, and it's stored as union 1, which has been brought into the window here. And because it's a valid object, immediately I can use the DataCentric Tools as well. Click on the drop down, find select segment trisolation, click on that. And if I had my properties window up, and on the other side, let's put it here. You can see that when I select it, it becomes object 1, trisolation 1, tells me information and gives me a volume there. So these two macros are very, very handy to use to create conditioned solids from any CMS data that you might be picking up. And as I said before, it may not work for all solids, but it will probably do 95% of them for you. If you'd like to get a copy of the macros to test them for yourself, please check the description in this video for those details. Thanks everyone.